everyone, and welcome to another episode of Joypad Podcast. We're all here. One of us is queer. Is that okay? Is that okay? Am I allowed to say that? And,
Get used to it.
Get used to it. That's right. I am Mr. Michael Pinto, one of our esteemed hosts who is here, I'd say about 80% of the time. And we're going to go around the square table of discussion and talk about games we've been playing, what we're drinking. Personally, all I'm drinking is water. I don't have anything exciting tonight. Just sticking with that good old H2O, trying to lose some of the extra pounds. The worst time of the year to try and lose weight, Christmas, but everyone tries to do it. And I'm going to pass it off to Mr. Michael Fleming.
What
have you been playing? What are you drinking? How are you feeling? Etc. etc.
So I have technically 3 beverages, but I finished the water before we actually started recording. So I have sparkling water made by unsponsored LaCroix. Sponsor us one day. LaCroix. I also have a Coca-Cola tonight because I'm a sleepy boy and I'm trying to wake up a little bit. So hopefully the sugar and the extra water will keep me functioning. Games. What games have I been playing? So first well, let me ask this. Are we talking the game that all 3 of us played? As in you, Mr. Pinto, me, Tom.
All 3 of
me
us?
And Tom? Well, okay, Tom technically played. Are we talking that yet, or are we waiting?
We can talk about it.
All right, so I found out before the last episode of the Joypad podcast that I Am Jesus Christ, which we...
No, you're not.
She got it there. Got it. I heard that game had been released, at least a prologue, like a beta test for another word. And I was very excited.
It's super done.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. It's the best game ever. So anyway, we played that, and it was a game. It was a thing. Joseph wanted to talk about things, and we told him no.
Hello, Jesus.
Hello, Jesus.
Hello, Jesus.
Hello, Jesus.
Except
Hello,
at the
Jesus.
end, when you were going on your mission, finally. He did not want to talk then. But yeah, the game's not good, as we kind of expected, I think.
What do you mean?
Well, I do want to let you guys know I do have a little bit of a development, and I'll lead with this, and then we can go from there. I made an official Steam review of the I Am Jesus Christ prologue.
No.
It has 65 people have found it helpful, and 28 have found it funny. It's received 7 accolades, so I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm just gonna read it for you.
Oh God, I just read it myself.
My favorite part of the Bible is the one where Jesus deflected fire orbs back at Satan in the desert while pulling in his orb avatar with magic lasers powered by the Holy Spirit, which depletes over time and needs the power of prayer to recharge, by the way. Also, when Joseph said, "Hello, Jesus," 20 times in a row. 10 out of 10, except that no one says "and also with you" when you end every conversation by saying "peace be with you."
That's a perfect summary.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's... The graphics are decent. I wouldn't say they're good. They're decent for like a free game. And I would also say that like I am impressed at the fact that there is like an attempt at a voice recording, even though it's not good. I'm also happy we got to see Jesus's face before we stopped playing last time, because that took a long time to see. But yeah, it's not a very good game, but it's a game that we were looking forward to, so we had to play it. You can find it on YouTube.
It's an amazing game by virtue of the fact that somebody thought, let's take Jesus walking around talking to people and make that a game that also involves lasers and spheres. These are not biblically accurate things.
Yeah, I also found it interesting how like almost every single part of the story has like Bible verses like starting it out. But the cutscenes are actually pretty good. Like, I will say, out of anything, I was impressed by the cutscenes. Like, I hate to say that because it's kind of sad that that's the best part. But
I got to the point where I thought the whole game was going to be cutscenes because the Bible's a story. Let's be real, and it's not when you get to the New Testament, it's not super action packed.
No, it is not.
I mean, we could go back into the Old Testament and get some super rad like King David battles and stuff like that. But the story of Jesus is not a story of military conquest.
Tom, I will make sure to remind you, as well as our listeners and or viewers on YouTube, that it is not called "I Am King David."
That's
It is
true.
called "I Am Jesus Christ." So
you are indeed correct.
yes, so that makes sense.
So I from one perspective can appreciate the fact that they
Mhm.
absolutely needed to put some sort of action into it.
Yeah.
And that it made sense for them to have a reload your Holy Spirit button.
Yeah.
And pull in things with lasers and then deflect their projectiles back at them button.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, if that were the case, man, my boy really should have used that a little bit later on in his life. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
I will agree with that. I thought the game was going to be exclusively like a King's Quest. I think I even mentioned it during the video, the playthrough. Like I expected there not to be battles. At least not like in the way that they had it. I thought there might be like some conversations with like a Satan-like thing that like replicated the Bible, but like, and then I thought you like maybe would press like E to perform miracle or something.
Show hands.
Put the hands up. But you don't do that, at least so far. So
not yet.
We'll have to see what the rest of the game is like. I will say though, if it costs money, I won't buy it.
I'll buy it. We're playing it.
And that's what I expected. I expected you to play it. But it is very fun to play together, I will say that.
It is. I laughed a lot. Just from when I was talking to Joseph and having him say, "Hello, Jesus," 20 times in succession.
You did laugh a lot at that.
Also, Mary, mother of Jesus, looked weird. Like they made her look like Middle Eastern grandma, which might be more accurate than a lot of modern depictions, to be perfectly honest, but looked very strange to my Western eyes.
Was it you or Pinto that said she looked kind of like Elon Musk?
Oh no.
That was
one of you.
That was me. That was me.
Okay, I couldn't remember. One of you said it though.
That one made me laugh. I forgot.
She looked like Elon Musk. If Elon Musk was Mary, the mother of Christ.
I just want to comment too that like I think the first like 70% of the hour that we played was just walk around town and talk to people.
Yeah.
And you did nothing else. And most of it was like, go talk to this guy. He might know John the Baptist.
Yeah, it was all John the Baptist.
You
know, he's a crazy man. You shouldn't try and find him.
He is my enemy. I will have no part of this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, bro.
Sorry, man. It's just a Baptist.
And then you picked berries and ate them because your hunger meter would go down.
Yes, you did have to eat berries or you would die.
What?
And when you were out in the desert for 40 days, your hunger meter got really low. You almost died there.
But then it got recharged when you went to go pray.
Yes, because the Holy Spirit revived you.
Yeah, and then you would fight Satan with the Holy Spirit, even though he tried to get you to turn rocks into bread.
Yes.
Biblically accurate.
Of course. But it was a game. We'll just leave it as that. We plan to play through the rest of the prologue, I'm sure. And if the game comes out, it sounds like Tom's buying it no matter what. So we'll play the rest of it.
If they charge more than $20, I'm going to give them some stink eye, but I'm still going to buy it. And then I'm going to leave a review that's going to be like, this isn't worth $20 unless you're me and you really like the comedy of this game.
Also, how long can you wait to refund a Steam game? We'll just marathon it and beat it and then return it and get a refund.
It's only 2 hours.
If you put in more than like 2 hours of gameplay, you can't refund it.
Gotcha.
Though there was a guy I remember, not I Am Jesus Christ related at this point, but there was a guy I think that said he could beat Resident Evil 4 or 5, one of the Resident Evils. I'm pretty sure he was able to beat it in 2 hours. You can find it on YouTube if you want to look while I'm talking. But yeah, he was like, "Can I beat X game in the time so I can refund it still, but have beat the game?" And like he was really good. He speed run it kind of thing. So he was able to find like glitches and stuff to get through the game, but was able to like 100% it. You can find it on YouTube. It's pretty funny actually.
Real life achievement. Beat game before the Steam window.
And then he beat it in like an hour and 50 something minutes and then refunded it, and Steam refunded it because it was under 2 hours. He was very happy with himself. Anyway, let's jump off of I Am Jesus Christ. I actually played another game. Now I mentioned this I think on the podcast before. But on GOG, or GOG, as it's also called, not actually, but I'll say that. On GOG, they had Outpost 2, which is a game from 1997. It was $6, I believe. It was a game that I played as a little kid, and I really wanted to play it again. Came to find that it actually is abandonware, and you can buy it on like or you could just go download it from like outpost2.net, which is just apparently an old or a community that still remembers that old game and wanted to play it. So I played through one of the 2 campaigns in that because there's 2 different factions you can play, and I cannot believe how clumsy RTS games were from the 90s, like when you go back and play them. But this game, while clumsy, and there was a lot of things that were weird. For example, right click doesn't make your guys move, left click does. And right click deselects units. And oh my God, because I played so much StarCraft and stuff, like that was the hardest thing to get over.
Command and Conquer was like that too.
Yeah,
and
Command and Conquer
really
was like
confusing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I was like, I want to play this game. I even have the CD somewhere, but I couldn't, like, it probably won't work. And I don't have a CD drive anymore anyway. So I was like, I'm going to buy it for $6 to make my life easier. And then I played through the whole Eden campaign. There's a whole Plymouth campaign for the other faction in the game. It's a fantastic game, especially if you were alive and never got to play it. So if you guys ever want to play an RTS game, highly encourage it, because it's not combat focused. It's like survival focused and almost a little more SimCity kind of focused, because you have to build your population, build buildings to expand that population, keep your morale high or people start to die. The combat is secondary to that. And even like in the storyline, there is combat missions, but like it's because you're trying to get something to let you survive. So really cool game. Like I said, it's like $6. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, which has made it very, very hard to get through the game. I put in a lot of hours this past weekend, but definitely wanted to go back. I've been like wanting to play old games recently. So that was one of the ones that was on my mind. Anyway, enough about me, enough about I Am Jesus Christ and Outpost 2. Don't play Outpost 1. It was really bad. It was totally different too. So Tom, your life, your beverages, your hands, apparently. How are you? What are you drinking and what are you playing, sir?
I just have water, and I had a little bit of tea a bit ago because I still have the sickness I've had for 2 months. I may as well just have a child at the end of this. But game-wise, we played I Am Jesus Christ, which is great. You told me not to talk about it, but I will talk about it all day, every day, except I have nothing else to add. Do look forward to that YouTube video. Other than that, it's been DayZ and Pokemon. And DayZ is very fleeting for me at the moment. I had that period of like ramp up and like play a lot of DayZ, and then it coasts for a little bit. Then I get to the point where it's like, this is boring bullshit. I'm not interested in it anymore. So that's kind of where I'm at with DayZ. I've played on like 4 different servers. I have one that I main on, and I have a lot of shit on it, and it's just easy to have a lot of shit. And that gets boring very quickly. So I started a habit of just like looking for another server that might meet what I'm looking for. Which normally is just like a mostly PvE server with missions. And the types of missions that we like the ones we used to do where there were like custom missions like Roadblock, where you'd have a couple cars set up and some zombies and some treasure would drop. There's not a lot of servers like that. There's a lot of ones that have the ones that you get over the radio. So there's a specific mission pack mod that I got to look for when I look for those. And I'm trying to figure out how to do that. But I found one recently that I was playing, and I was just kind of like playing Survivor Man mode, just trying to find everything that I could, use that and not rely on the traders so much, for a while. And then, of course, I got to a trader and I started selling stuff, and some dude shows up and he's just running into me saying a bunch of crap, and I have like a YouTube video on and I can't hear him, and I'm like, just go away. Just go away. I am the most antisocial person in those social games because I'm not trying to talk to you. And I'm sorry. I get it. A lot of people are social and they want to be social. But if I don't know you, I don't want to know you, and I don't give a shit. And I'm okay with that as who I am at this point. And I'm sorry. But like I DayZ is a game that I can experience and enjoy on my own. And I'm happy if you guys join me, that enhances the experience. But I don't want to talk to randos. Don't want it. I'm done with that. So whenever that happens to me now, I'm like, okay, I just want to quit now. So it sounds stupid. It sounds, I don't know, egotistical is not the right word, but like kind of like internalistic or like self-sheltering, maybe. I don't know. But it's just not the way I want to play right now. So I don't. So my other game that I play is Pokemon, which is surprisingly way more social. And I play a lot of Pokemon right now. My wife also has it. Both of us have beaten the end game. We have Pokemon at level 100. We do a lot of the raids now. I have some friends from high school that are into like doing the raids together. So like they'll show up and we'll do some of those. And I've been doing just some like online raids on my own and leveling up the Pokemon. I have some shinies. I found a shiny, I believe his name is Qfant in the wild. He's a little steel elephant guy. He's awesome. And I read about some sort of, they're calling it an exploit, but apparently it's just working as intended, where you can get shinies from going to outbreaks. So there's a new thing in this game where there's just outbreaks of the same Pokemon in the same area. And if you defeat 60 of the Pokemon in the outbreak, it increases your chance of finding a shiny to 1 in 1,000 or so instead of 1 out of 4,000 something. And if you combine that with a sandwich that has shiny power, it brings it down to like 1 in 500. And then what you can do is ignore like the mobs of Pokemon that show up either by leaving the area or setting up a picnic. And then when you come back, it resets what the mob is. So basically resetting your chance of finding a shiny Pokemon. So I decided to give that a whirl just to see what would happen. And I had a Gyarados outbreak. And I was like, sweet, I love shiny Gyarados. He's red. That's my boy from Pokemon Gold. And went out there, did the trick. And sure enough, he showed up after some time. And got myself a red Gyarados. His name's Gary. He's level 30 something right now. Gonna get him up there eventually. And then today I spent time catching a high level Azumarill and then building up all of the EVs and IVs and all that technical crap that I really don't mess with most of the time, but it helps doing raids. So I figured out how to do that. Yeah, and it's been fun. So even like the dumb little things, and the raids go pretty quickly, whether you win or lose. So sometimes even as a break between work, I'll fire it up for just a couple minutes, do a thing, and get back to it. So it's a lot different from DayZ, where you'll get entrenched in going between point A and point B for like 40 minutes. It's just a nice contrast, I think. So those are the two games I've really been playing. I am going to call out before I pass it off that Pinto, Megan, and I also went to PAX Unplugged this past weekend.
Heck yeah.
Along with Megan's fiance and my wife. I'd say we had a good time. Saw a lot of board games. I bought a handful. I think we all bought at least one.
A handful? You bought a backpack full, my dude.
That's factual, correct, biblically accurate. They had carriers I kept seeing people with that were like duffel bags that convert to backpacks, and they were square to hold board games. I was like, this is actually not a bad idea and something I will use outside of here because I can bring that over to a friend's house. So I bought one of those, and then I got, I think, all but one of the games that I got were zombie related. The one I got is about like farmers in like the 1800s, and then Cthulhu is coming. So you have to like meet goals before Cthulhu shows up, which I'm totally into. The other one is I don't know. It was just a zombie game. I forget the name of it, but it was a zombie game. And then the other one is kind of similar to some of like the night questing games that I have, like not RuneScape. It's called like Runefall or something like that. I forget the name of it right now, but they all seemed fun. They're all games that have nice models and cool like adventuring landscapes, which are the kind of games that I gravitate towards. And when I see pretty shiny, sometimes I just can't help myself. So we were pretty disciplined, though. We went around like the whole floor of the convention center, looking at everything, and I don't think any of us really picked anything up on the first pass. We really came back to a lot kind of after we'd seen everything.
Mm-hmm. We did the, don't pick your first option. Take your time. Look at everything.
Oh, my wife got a little plushie from a place that was selling a game. We didn't buy the game. We just bought
none of us bought
you
the
didn't
game.
get the game?
No.
The game looked... I don't want to seem rude to the developers, but the game seemed very, like, try-hard, kind of. Like, this game is so dark and evil, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
I saw the layout of it, and it looked very bland. It was like, I don't know, it was just like a geometric setup and with like a couple different colored like flat circles on it as the tokens.
For how cool their booth looked, especially with all of the merchandise themed around the game, the actual game design itself was just kind of like meh.
Completely agree. So that's why we bought the plushie and nothing else. And I feel fine about that. I was worried they were going to give me the stink eye about that when I went to go check out. And I was like, hey, you stink eye all you want if you do. The lady was like, okay, money, please.
yeah, I was going to say, they're getting money. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care as long as they're getting paid. I noticed, Tom, since you started talking about board games, that since our last podcast where we talked about what we're playing, we played Scythe, and we have not covered that in a podcast, which was also really cool. A couple weeks ago now.
Yeah, we had.
I'm surprised you remember that, Fleming. You were pretty far gone by the time we.
I was so tired. Oh my god, I was so tired. I got up at like 6 in the morning.
You had the giggles real bad at the end of that game.
I forget what made me laugh so much at the end there, but there was something that one of you guys said or did.
I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the word load, and you just thought it was the funniest shit ever. So.
Oh yeah, that was a fun time. That was a good game though. I actually liked that, and I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I'm actually excited to play it again. And it's funny because it's a game that looks daunting, but once you get it going, it was very quick and easy to understand.
Yeah, there's also expansions for it. I'm pretty sure too, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah, there's at least 2 other players that you can add because they left space on them for the main game, which is why we were confused looking for that piece set to put them in. Yeah. There's a digital edition too, though. I don't know if any of you guys own that, but I do own that.
No, I don't.
I've never played it, so I played the board game first. But yeah, we had fun with that. We played a lot of Seven Wonders as well. And we tried to play Steampunk Rally, and shout out to the inventors of Steampunk Rally. Your tutorial's awful. Get better. The end.
Spent like I don't know, $1,000 like acting and getting all their props and stuff for that thing, but then they didn't they didn't come up with a clear script, right? Yeah. They made it so complicated, even in the
read their own rules. Like they just read the manual to us with the weird 20s rally flair. And
yeah, it was not good.
You gotta be practical.
Yeah, definitely.
You need to find a guy from Minnesota to tell you how to play the game and call cards. Ask Pinto.
What game was this?
Dead of Winter, when we were first learning how to play it.
Your cards.
Or
or it's always a British person.
Or British man. That's how we learned Gloomhaven. We called him Jim the Brit. I don't know if that was his real name, but he was British, and we assumed his name was Jim. He did a fine job. It's funny. There are like some of those games that are out there too, like Gloomhaven, and like there was a whole setup for Frosthaven, which is the sequel to Gloomhaven. And I said it while we were there. I just don't know how you could try to demo that while you're there. It just takes so long to play and understand those rules. And if you're trying to tutorialize that, it's so complicated. Like the easiest thing you could do is set somebody up with the video game and go through that at least for a couple levels first.
It's to keep everyone coming back. You know, you get a little piece of it one year, you get more of it the next year.
They give
Maybe
you a
you start a
taste.
campaign by the third year.
Now we're talking D&D. Might as well go that way. Well, anyway, this has belabored on my side, but hopefully you guys saw it as more of a group topic. So, Megan, I'm gonna shift gears and go to you. How you doing? What you drinking? Tell us about your gaming experience. Anything else you want to add about PAX or anything else? Go for it. Soup
Doing
dumplings
okay.
are delicious.
Soup dumplings are delicious.
Soup dumplings are delicious.
No, I'm doing okay. It's been a busy week for work. As far as beverage, I'm enjoying a Coca-Cola as well, just like Mr. Fleming.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Corporate shills both.
I won't sleep ever. As far as games, I've actually been pretty busy. I played a lot. I completed a lot. I finally finished Grounded with my friends that I was playing with. It was actually like overall a pretty short game, and we kind of hit a point where it just wasn't a struggle anymore. As far as like we had, you know, the highest tier weapon and armor and whatnot. It was fun. It's definitely a game that you would want to play with other people. I don't think it would be as fun alone. I enjoyed it though, just too quick. I started to replay the Quarry, and I finished that. I
Nice.
got at least like one of the 5 million endings that the game has apparently. I got the best ending, I think it's called, because all of the characters, the playable characters, survived. So that was nice. And then what else did I play? There was something else. Oh, The Devil in Me. I don't remember if I talked about that, but I did start that. I did finish it. I think it was probably the scariest out of all the games in the first season.
Boy. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
It was, I enjoyed it. I think Little Hope is still my favorite. This is probably second. It was a little bit buggy, which I think a lot of them are, but I don't know. This just seemed particularly so. That was hard. I'm sorry. But yeah, I liked it. I got the happiest ending in that one. Because
Where everyone
there's
still dies.
Was it
No,
actually
everyone
happy, or was it?
So-
Did they just call it that?
No, they have it was as happy as it can be. They have like a bad
Fair.
ending, a happy ending, and then the happiest ending. There are certain parameters you need to meet. They challenge you, and I didn't like it because they were playing with my emotions. But I finished that. They kind of teased the next game. They're starting season 2 now, apparently. And the next one is like future and space. So I'm curious to see what that's all about and how it looks.
Interesting.
Yeah. As for games, that's really it. I did start Callisto Protocol. I was talking to Pinto about it a little bit earlier. Not really a fan of it. I'm kind of disappointed. It really, it's different than what I thought it was going to be. And I think it's partially my bad that I jumped on it and pre-ordered it before it came out. Before reviews came out, I should say. But the fighting style is weird. It tries to make it like QTE, but not, where you have to use the left thumbstick to dodge, like right and left, but you need to time it specifically with the enemy. It's not fluid. And then you just bash the hell out of them with R2. I haven't found any kind of gun yet. It's all melee weapons so far. And then to find like health items, you can stomp the shit out of whatever it is you kill, but you have to like stomp it like 6 to 8 times before anything falls out of it. It's like, did you guys ever
that
run
sounds
into
dumb.
It's super dumb. Did you ever see The Order? I think it's like The Order 1886. It was an early
Yeah.
It's like
which looks cool, but everyone
Right.
hated.
right. I feel like it's the PS5's The Order. I might try it a little bit longer to see if it gets any better. I'm not hopeful. It's kind of disappointing.
Does it feel like that's happening a lot with bigger games to you guys? Like the
Yeah.
bigger games for Xbox and PS5 in particular?
Too much
Mhm.
hype, no real delivery.
Yeah. Like there's a
Kinda.
lot of flash and no dash kind of
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, graphically amazing. But as far as the actual gameplay, it's like it's you're really just stuck on rails. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't encourage exploration. So, I'm disappointed by it.
I don't like that.
No.
Get better game studios. Be
Yeah.
like Nintendo.
Yeah. Use the same IP forever.
Yeah. Use the same IP forever. Make it do similar things in gradual progression, but incredibly insanely fun.
And put it on a handheld.
fine. You know
Yeah.
what else you should do, Megan?
What?
You should play
Tell
House
me.
of Ashes.
I know. I will.
We're gonna
I-
marathon
that's-
it one day, Tom. I'm just gonna go to Megan's apartment and we're just gonna eat
just
pizza
play it.
and play House of Ashes.
Yes.
That sounds like a good idea.
And Man of Medan.
Man of
Medan.
Medan.
I haven't played that one yet.
Yeah, that's it for games right now for me. As far as PAX, I had a great time. I got to see my buds. I got to meet Tom's wife. My fiance was there. I did it. I bought myself a nice set of dice. I've never done that before because I feel like why am I going to spend a good chunk of money on something that I'm going to throw and bang up? But there's a company that I really like, and I've admired their dice for a very long time, and I'm in a position that I can do that and treat myself. So I decided to
Hell yeah.
buy a really cool set of dice. They're made of glass and resin. They have like little flowers in them, and they're called honeysuckle, and I think they're amazing.
They're really
They are. The salesperson got me with, "Oh yeah, we're getting rid of that collection. We're retiring it soon, so you won't be able to find it again." So I'm like, I should get them. So I got a nice set of dice, and I got a game. I think it's Not So Neighborly.
cool.
It's a competitive build up the neighborhood but tear down your opponent's game. It's cute, stupid little cartoony graphics on cards. Their booth was set up like a little grocery store. That's usually how they get me, like Fire Tower. You
Which
saw
was
their
also
booth.
there.
That game, their display game is just, it looks
It's
so
amazing.
dope, man.
Yeah,
It sucks you in.
those fire gems really have appeal.
And they come with the game, which
Yep.
is even more amazing. It's not like, they just added it to make it look good. They're actually in the game. So yeah, I picked up Not So Neighborly, thought about getting the expansion for Fire Tower, but I knew if I was going to get it, I wanted the one with all of the bells and whistles. Like it had 3 tiers, like the basic, mid-tier, and then top tier. And I didn't really feel like spending $50 on an expansion to a game at that point in time. So I'll get it at one point.
It'll
Not
be
pa-
around. They like to make you feel like it won't be.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
will.
Yeah, they have stuff available on their site. I haven't checked for the expansion yet, but I will. Not PAX related, but board game related. I did back the Last of Us board game.
It'll be out this time next year.
That's what they say.
Oh gosh.
They funded it
Kickstarters
pretty
are
quickly,
nuts.
though.
Oh yeah. Anything that's IP related gets backed
Immediately. I want to say it was like $1 million at least, and they were looking for way less than that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I just got the basic edition of the game. I know I'll kick myself and wish I did the special edition, but
Yeah, you will.
I will. But
you can buy it from somewhere that also got
Exactly.
it.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
am kind of mad on that note, Megan.
Why?
We saw the people selling the Skyrim game
Oh
there
yeah, they had
that I
buttload of
pledged
Skyrim.
to on Kickstarter and still haven't gotten yet.
you still haven't?
Not yet.
That's a bummer.
Not yet.
It'll be
you
ready
could've
by
had
this
it.
time next year.
Yeah, it's been shipping according to them. It's just apparently folks that were at PAX got truckloads of it before I got my one.
Wow.
And maybe it's because they're a retailer level and they prioritize those or something. But
Maybe. That's a bummer, though. You would think, like, Kickstarter, the backers should get first dibs.
yeah, well, I think those people were probably also backers, which is why I was like, why
True.
don't I have mine? But
True.
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, though, I thought it was fun. It's always nice to go there, get sucked in, buy all of the things. But that's it for me. Mr. Pinto, how are you doing? What are you drinking? And what are you playing?
I'm good. Just drinking water. H2O. And I haven't really been playing too much. Still kind of trucking through Resident Evil 4. I feel like I'm really taking my time with it because that game is not long and not hard to beat. But, I'm not on a timetable. Whatever, right?
Is this the remakey boy?
No.
Did one of those?
It's getting a remake, but I'm playing the original.
Gotcha.
Remake is March next year, I believe. Definitely looking forward to that. I was disappointed to hear Megan's review of the Callisto Protocol, but it seems like she is not alone in her opinion. Reviews have not been great for that game. A lot of people are disappointed in it, and I'm glad that I decided to wait. And I am looking forward to the Dead Space remake instead, which is what people touted Callisto Protocol to be until Dead Space remake was announced.
We saw a commercial for it the other day and couldn't tell if it was Dead Space or something else until they said the name of the game at the end.
A lot of the
yeah.
developers from the original Dead Space worked on it. So,
that makes sense.
but the Dead Space remake does look amazing, so I'm looking forward to that. And when we were talking about it earlier, I noticed that there was a review embargo on the game until release day, and that's never a good sign. You know what
for
I mean?
Callisto Protocol?
Yeah.
That's for any
Yeah.
game. That's never a good sign. When they're like, when the game comes out, you can read reviews. So
That's, yeah. A lot of companies tried to do. Nvidia is known for doing that a lot with their hardware. But yeah, it's never a good sign that you're trying to be competitive or good when you're putting an embargo on.
you're trying to hide something probably
Yeah.
that you don't want people to know about.
Let everyone pre-order it first, so they're stuck.
Yeah. And then I started playing The Forest with Megan and some of our other friends. And there's really something about playing a game that you know very well for the first time with someone who's never played it and having them experience it for the first time. Like, it's no, it's really a lot of fun though. Like, that's why I was so excited when we got Fleming playing like Stardew Valley. So I love Stardew Valley, and I was like, I don't know if it's really his kind of game, but I hope he loves it. And then he did, and I was happy, and we spent an entire month playing it because that's all that could run on my computer while I was out in California. But yeah, we're playing The Forest with a couple of friends, and it's fun. These friends...
I'm just sitting here remembering some of the names of our animals and people in Stardew Valley. Like Rimaboo.
Rimaboo?
No, the best thing that
Peebo?
we named, the next best thing that we named in Stardew Valley was the horse named Bike.
Named Bike. Yep.
Bike the
And it
horse.
was a rolled name. It wasn't like we came up with it.
No, we just let that engine do its thing. Shout out to the Stardew Valley name engine. My God.
It's had some
Beautiful.
real winners. God, I'd have to load back into the file, but there were some real winners in that one. Surprisingly, have not been playing much Stardew Valley. That's kind of fallen by the wayside until the bug bites me again.
We just talked about it, so it's coming.
Yeah, we all know it's going to happen. We all know that when like 2 or 3 weeks, when you guys are like, "Hey Pinto, what are you playing?" I'll be like, "Stardew Valley."
Stardew.
That's okay.
Stardew Valley. I've actually been playing a lot of Plants vs. Zombies right now.
I like that game.
It's just kind of, my zone out game, like how Tom has Madden and Fleming has Age of Empires. Mine's probably the lowest effort out of all of those. Just want to throw that out there. But Yeah, I like it. I've always loved tower defense games. Like, even
I do too.
back in when we were playing StarCraft, like, I would always love finding tower defense games to play, or poker defense games to play. Those were always fun as well.
Well, I was just trying to get you guys to play like the tower defenses and such. But I don't know. Maybe it was less of a group sport.
Yeah, but I don't know. And even like the custom games, I kind of think about, and I'm like, maybe we should try League. And then I remember I did play League, and I was like, fuck this game.
League sucks.
Fuck this game hard.
I don't. If you're listening and you like League of Legends, you're wrong. I'm sorry. I know there's millions of you.
The biggest problem I actually had with League is I didn't really want to play it, but my girlfriend at the time was into it, and I was like, that'll be cute, playing games with my girlfriend, and then she got mad when I got better than her. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm okay at video games. What do you want from me? So
imagine my world where I'm like, my
being
wife
married to that.
Yeah, play video games with my wife, and she's like, okay, and then she's like, I hate that you're better than me, and then you just
and then you let her win, and she's like, you're letting me win. I know it.
Yeah, there was this cool I forget what it was called on Switch that we were playing. It was like this wizard kind of game where like you develop skills, and I was like, oh, she likes Harry Potter, maybe she'll like be interested in this, and she was. But even on the easiest setting, I was excuse me, always beating the bosses. Ultimately, like she would die, and I would end up, beating the boss, so we didn't have to like replay it. And she would always get so upset. So I was like, well, maybe if I lose, she'll be happier. And then even one time, she killed one of the bosses, and she still got upset because she's like, you weakened him so much, like he was already basically dead. I'm like, I guess we just won't play games.
That's when you're like, I love you so much. That's all you have to say.
It was a co-op game. My victory is her victory.
But she wants more of the victory.
She's very competitive, yes.
We're good with the co-op games. When we get into the competitive games, it's not good. She gets mad.
Well,
that's why most of the board games I own are co-op.
On the way home from PAX, in our very uncomfortable, steamy, and not the fun kind of steamy ride home, we were talking about Overcooked and how after that one night we've never played that game again. The four of us. We have not
great game.
We have not touched that game ever since the night of a million eggs.
I have to suggest
Oh no.
a game like Overcooked, but not quite as complex in the like I have to throw things to you from across the hall to make this work right. Plate Up is a game on Steam.
I saw that. I was actually thinking that looked like it could be fun for us. It
is like I've played it. I own it. It's great. I love it. It's like Plate Up, but as it's like Overcooked, but as a roguelike.
Ooh.
And you don't throw stuff, so you just manage moving things around.
Can 4 people play that? Do you know, or
yeah,
is it only 2?
It's 4-person. Yep.
Because I have seen that as well, and I'd like to check it out. Oh shit! I have to tell you guys, Megan bought me Trombone Champ for Christmas, and
hell yeah, she did.
Oh my god, I love it so much. I love it so much. The biggest thought I've had is, God, you know this Rufus's theme from Final Fantasy VII? I'm like, God, that song would be perfect for this game. Just like the Soldier March song. I'm pretty sure I've seen mods where people mod it and put their own music in, because I saw someone playing the viral hit Kieran J. Callinan's Big Enough on Trombone Champ, and I would really love to play that song. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. But even just playing like Also Sprague Zarathustra or the Mexican Hat Dancer, Hava Nagila, I am sitting in my room alone playing this game and laughing my ass off. So
it's so stupid.
It is.
You gotta check the ratio of toots to toots before you fire that thing up.
I have so many toots. I have earned a lot of toots, and I'm gonna earn more.
Oh god, I love games like that. I love games like that that are just goofy and try something like a little different because let's be honest. I mean, it basically takes everything it does from like Rock Band and Dance Dance Revolution, but it's just fun mode.
Yeah.
Where you toot the trombone.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Megan. I have already put in a couple hours into it, which is, I mean, consider that most of the songs are only like 2 minutes long, so I've put some time into it already.
We gotta get good.
That's right.
I gotta say the animated backgrounds on a lot of the tracks
They look
also
good.
bring the hilarity factor.
Yeah. My favorite is that at the end of the Star Spangled Banner, it ends on a big shot of a burger and fries. Like, hell yeah, America. That's right. I wish that game had multiplayer.
Can you imagine multiple trombones? It's Symphony Trombone Champ.
I could imagine it. That's exactly what I want. I want the four of us blasting our toots together.
I've never heard that in an appropriate context until now.
That's right.
No, that's awesome. I just love the trombone champ as a thing.
Me too. Maybe that'll be the catalyst that's needed for rhythm games to come back.
I hope so.
We've talked about gathering to do Rock Band.
Yeah.
And
still got to do that.
I honestly, guys, Clone Hero is still great. If you've got an old Rock Band controller laying around, you can play that for free and download all kinds of songs that you would probably actually want to play, including the ones from the games themselves.
I have been meaning to check it out for the past year or two, ever since you mentioned it. But, you know, I'm lazy.
Well, it's one of those games, too, that's kind of a pain in the ass to set up in the beginning. Because you have to do stuff for controller support, and then you have to go find all your own tracks and make sure everything's working right and that you can connect it the right way. It's, you know, it's not without its setup difficulties. It's kind of like simpler than this, but back in the day when StarCraft didn't have good connectivity through BattleNet and you used to have to use Hamachi to play together. And then by the time I figured out how Hamachi worked, StarCraft 2 came out.
Yeah, I remember having to use all the different launchers to try and play Brood War together.
Well, at first we tried to use Hamachi. We got that working
Then we got
like,
iCup.
a little bit, and then we got iCup.
Oh, right. Yeah, iCup was the big one. Hey, Megan, spell iCup.
No.
Okay.
I've watched enough of The Simpsons to know what you're trying to do to me.
Spell UCup.
No.
No, she's muted. She's done.
Oh,
I'm still here.
She's just not going to dignify us with a response.
Side note, I don't know if any of you guys ever watch any of this, but I one of the YouTubers / streamers I love watching is Kit Boga, who does like scammer calls and just messes with them. But he tries to get them to do Updog and like spell iCup, and they fall for it quite a bit. So like after they do, he's like, disgusting. Anyway. Radio silence. Take that. Yeah. I broke the call. I'm talking
No, you didn't break the
spelling
call.
iCup from a popular streamer. Take that, everyone.
I will say I'm just surprised though that like it sounds like even with like I guess it was 2 weeks, but like I thought that I wasn't playing games as much, but we had 50 minutes of just like things we've been doing, which is always exciting to entertain our listeners and tickle their eardrums in a nice, interesting way.
They're all mostly game adjacent.
Yeah, we didn't talk last week either, so we had a little bit of additional regaling.
Excuse me. We played I Am Jesus Christ.
We had a focused talk last week where we played a very important and pivotal game in this, the year of our Lord 2022. And yes, I do mean the year of our Lord.
All I'm gonna say is that when I saw that was available, like it sent me an email because it was on my wish list. I was so like. It felt like Christmas, and I was sharing like the best news to you guys. I was like, I gotta say this in a nice way. I gotta make him excited.
I have a good probably mini topic that we can roll through really quick.
No.
Have you guys, in dealing with parents, family, friends, Christmas, holiday celebrations, what have you, if you have requested games of them, what have you requested?
It's
Dun,
a
dun,
great
dun.
thing, actually. So I have requested. I was actually just going and adding Scythe to that list. I don't get a lot of presents anymore, really, but my wife's family does still give things out. So on my wish list, I have Unstable Unicorns because I loved playing that game, and I highly encourage you guys to consider that. I also put the expansion because it falls into about that price category of about $20. And then I also have from the same company, Happy Little Dinosaurs. So I added that as
Nice.
well. So those three are on there. I put Risk on there because I don't have a copy of Risk. And then I just added all of the Scythe games
Wait.
expansions as well.
Who
just
ended
in
up
case
with
you
the
just
copy
went
of
Muto.
Risk from your bachelor party?
Unless
Was it
it's me.
Alex?
Did I go
that
Muto?
was Tom's.
No, we bought that at the Walmart though.
Yeah, it was Tom's. It wasn't mine though.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah, I bought Risk at the Walmart
Yeah.
at Ocean
Yeah.
City. It was me that went mute. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, no, yeah, so that's Tom's, but I don't have a copy of it. I probably, like, if I ask my parents, maybe they have that copy still, but it's really old anyway, and the box was all ripped, and I remember the board was even ripped a little bit. So I was like, I'm just going to get a new one. So I put that on there as well, because, again, it falls into that $20 to $25 kind of range that they like to do. We'll see if... I often don't end up getting those, but those are the ones on my list, and I'm hoping to get some of those. I didn't put any video games, but that's typically because, well, the video games that I play are probably not games that they would support purchasing for me or are beyond that price. So board games often are a lot easier.
You should ask them to get you I Am Jesus Christ.
I think I'd end up with like 5 copies.
Can't have too many.
I also asked for board games. We were talking about this while we were at PAX, which is kind of what jogged my memory. We saw a lot of Warhammer stuff.
Oh yes.
Some of it looked pretty cool. There was
So
one
much.
that actually wasn't even Warhammer, but it was a dude that was on like a dinosaur that had 2 giant like jet engine sized cannons on the side of it.
Still awesome.
It's like, I fucking want this. But I decided that I'm not going to buy these for myself, but I'll ask my mom for them for Christmas. So if she decides to get them for me, that's cool. But if she doesn't, I won't be mad about it. So I asked my mom for the Warhammer 40k Command starter set and an expansion if she gets me that one.
Oh, no.
And then I gave her a list of board games. Like, I like to give my mom variety so that I get surprised by what she ends up getting me whatever. So I gave her Agricola, Mice and Mystics, Mysterium, Mansions of Madness, the Rhett and Link We're Still Good board game.
We're still good.
Which is pretty cheap, and I think you can get it at Walmart, which I think would be fun to play as a group. Unfathomable, which is like a Cthulhu at sea game, which seems interesting. Memoir 44, which I actually found on Amazon, surprisingly, which is a cool like World War II game. And then I didn't know this existed, but I found out that it did, and I wanted it. It's called Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. It's Betrayal at House on the Hill, but set in Baldur's Gate.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's out there on Amazon.
Good to know. I mean,
Lost that video again.
my only concern with like getting board games is that my board game shelf that I have, and you guys don't want to talk about, that thing is now full. There is not like
Same.
any space at all. So any more that I buy will either have to go downstairs or kick other ones that I have there to the downstairs, which is okay, but
Or you
it
could
makes
just
it a lot
buy
harder.
a bigger shelf.
There you go.
There is no. The thing we have there is what's going to be there. When you're married, you'll find out.
Bigger
But-
shelf.
It's almost in the
Bigger
Fleming
shelf.
Pinto.
But
Bigger
actually,
shelf.
wait, no, wait. I take this back. There is another shelf in our dining room that currently has nothing underneath of it.
Board games.
Sounds like
maybe
some
I can put a couple
prime
things there.
real estate for board
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, it sounds like some prime real estate for board games. So maybe 1 or 2 will go there. But
Or 7.
I have to be careful. I have a lot already.
I should share a picture of our
I-
desk that just has a bunch of board games on it.
You have more board games than basically anyone.
Put it on the
I've ever
Facebook
met.
page.
You've got a lot of board games.
Oh, I
Um,
think Tom and Megan should compare board game collection sizes.
We could do
Okay.
that.
Okay. Tom, the one question I have for you, based on your answer, is Warhammer. If your mom gets you the starter set, like you think that might happen, are you going to start investing in further pieces?
Yeah, that's what we call baby
It's the
dosing.
gateway, yeah.
Yeah.
What? Baby ghosting?
Baby
Dosing.
dosing.
Baby dosing.
Yeah.
I was like, why is it a baby ghost? Did it die?
There's
Baby
probably
tuberculosis?
baby ghosts of Warhammer. Let's be honest.
There might be. I think I would have to play first and figure out how into it I am.
My favorite would be he gets it. He's like, this shit sucks.
You know
Yeah.
what? Even if you hate the game, the models are really cool.
They are
So
They are.
They are
You know.
for sure. But yeah, it's the kind of thing. I think the set that I got has like 2 armies,
Mhm.
or the set that I asked for. So it would be the kind of situation where we would play like when one of you guys comes over and we would figure out if it's a thing we like, and then you would all be in on my addiction with me, and I would feel justified in buying more.
For everyone.
Yeah. Everyone gets a taste. We all succumb to the dealer at the end. And they'll find me with a painted Warhammer mini in my hands.
A dry
It was
paintbrush in the
never
other hand.
On the floor of a motel bathroom. Oh, God.
I didn't ask for any video games.
Well, you're
this year.
getting married next year, so you're probably like trying to save money and
Yeah, no, I did, because like I have family or other people in my life that want to get me things, but I did ask for a couple of board games. I put Mountains of Madness on there, which is kind of like Pinto, if you remember the Ravine that we played, where you're climbing a mountain, and as the game progresses through rounds, you draw cards to kind of tell you what's going to happen next to the leader of the group.
Mhm.
So you start to go crazy where you're giving everybody commands on what you need to do to survive, but like you can only respond in a certain way. Like you can't answer yes or no to a question. So you kind of have to like figure out how to continue the journey with like these weird factors or things that start cropping up. I have that, the Night Cage. I asked for the Blades in the Dark book because I find that game interesting. Happy Little Dinosaurs as well, Fleming. And
I like the look of Happy Little Dinosaurs.
and Space Team, which is like a cooperative. Your ship's going to explode, and you need to hoard all of the resources and build all of the things to keep your spaceship from exploding. So that's about it for me.
I did not ask for any video games or board games because my family does not believe in such tripe. That's not true. But I know that even from a young age, my parents were never really stoked about buying me video games. So I kind of just got out of the habit of, of asking for them. And then board games, I count on everyone else for my board game needs. I count on all of my friends for my board game needs. Because, like, if I go to Megan's house, she got a huge board game collection. Tom, if I went to your house, you got a huge board game collection. Fleming, if I went to your house, you got a big board game collection. And currently, I'm not in a position to host any sort of board game parties. So I think once I get my own place, I have a small, respectable collection, but nowhere near like the size of what you guys have. So I think that will grow eventually. What I did ask for is gift cards so that I could put money towards beginning to build a new PC.
Nice.
So that's
There you go.
that's what I'm. Next year I'd really like to have that in my life.
You've said for, honestly, it's been longer than a year, but I know in the past year you've been like, that is, as soon as you paid off certain, like student loan debt or other kind of debt,
And that
you're
is
like,
gone.
that is my, and it's gone. So that is like your next, personal goal, I guess. So that's good. It makes complete sense. And like, I would not if I could ask like the question originally I thought was ask others versus like buy yourself. So like if it's ask others, I wouldn't ask someone to invest into my ultimate goal there.
Well,
the
that's why I'm
small
like, just buy me like
small
a
points.
$25 Newegg certificate or something, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
But
way, when I start to purchase parts, I'll have a little
Yeah.
nest egg to
You'll have
start with.
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't ask the people that give me gifts that for that kind of thing, just based on how those kind of relationships are.
Mhm.
For a family is a little different. Like an
Yeah.
immediate family like that is a little different. So it makes total sense. And I wish you the best, and I hope to assist you when you are ready to build your computer.
Oh,
And
we'll,
I'd be happy to even.
we'll have a Micro Center pilgrimage.
That's what happened the first time when I built this PC. That's what we did. We went to
You-
Micro Center. We ate Korean barbecue.
If you guys want to, you can come back this way too afterwards.
And
We'll
build
play
it?
board
Oh,
games.
I just said build them.
If you build them, they will come.
You know why he said that?
I said build them because as soon as you like, I'm gonna have to give Amy my credit cards because if I go with that with
Oh,
that, I'm
no.
gonna be like, yeah, I'm building myself one. Sorry.
I've never been to Micro Center.
Oh, it's a
I
wonderful.
know not of the joys.
You know how
listen.
Best Buy is ass.
You know how Best Buy is ass. The title of the episode. You know how Best Buy
I know no other way.
Well, I guess Best Buy won't be sponsoring an episode anytime soon.
Sorry.
Best Buy. Best
Screwed up.
Buy. Become not ass, and then come sponsor
No,
us.
Best Buy's actually been doing better. They have been pivoting into like built like certain computer parts and stuff like
Yeah.
I
that.
bought a power supply there once when I needed
Yeah.
one. When I needed
Yeah,
to upgrade.
and they do work, and stuff works there. And they've added like even good components, not just like super cheap stuff. But no, Micro Center, just like the people care. They're very knowledgeable, and you can find basically any component, and they have great prices on those
Nice.
components.
Yeah, their prices rival online, like whatever the best
Yes.
price you're gonna find online
that's
would be.
cool.
So.
And they often do deals and promos. If you start buying all your parts there, that makes it a really compelling value.
Do they
and
still
they'll
do the
build it for
processor motherboard discount? Like if
Yeah,
you
they
buy
still do.
both?
They
yeah,
do.
They still do.
that's enough to do it there.
Yeah, it absolutely is enough to do it there, and all their other parts are about the same price as you'd find online. So, and it's also a store, and like I like the idea of going and seeing the components, getting help if your computer breaks or you need help building one. They'll do that. They've also built people custom water loops and stuff like that if you were into that. So that's really cool stuff that they offer that an online service doesn't offer in the same way.
I actually used a Micro Center deal to get a better price on not this PC but the one before, the processor for that. And I bought the parts for that at Fry's. But I just took their deal, brought it to Fry's, and Fry's had a deal where they would match other prices. So I
Yeah.
think I saved like $200 by doing that.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then Fry's went out of business.
Yeah, well,
Probably because of things like that.
probably.
All
But
right.
yeah, I look forward to that.
Oh.
That'll be fun.
Oh,
Yeah, so when I say that, we've talked about it quite a bit. I just want to be clear. When I say I'm building a PC, I mean I'm watching Fleming build my PC for me. I just want to throw it, like, people are
No,
like, you built your computer? That's so cool. I'm like, I just watched my friend do it. So
No, we're gonna get you hands on this time.
We'll
a little
teach you how
more.
to do
it's
it.
It's not difficult. It really isn't. I remember our friend Alex, when he built his not long after I built my first. He put his processor down on the motherboard and tried to close like the retention bar or whatever you'd call it down, and like there was a lot of pressure, and that's normal, because it's creating this really strong contact. And he was so nervous to pull it down. He's like, "Is this pressure okay?" Like it's making a little bit of a crunch noise. I'm like, "It's fine. That's what's supposed to happen. Like, don't worry too much." But yeah, I remember that.
It's
So
scary.
no, we're getting you hands on. You're gonna build it, and it's gonna be exciting.
I mean, it's just making sure the right things go into the right holes for the most part. And
They mostly
yes.
make it so
I
that
think
you
we've
can't
all
mess
had
up.
experience with that, so.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, time to end the podcast.
Wow.
Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. It's the holiday season, so our upload schedule is a little bit ass. It just, we're all busy adults, and, these things happen. Hopefully we'll get a little better in the new year, or maybe we won't. I don't know. Whatever.
It's all downhill, baby.
Blow me. Sorry, that was rude.
Best Buy his ass.
Holy shit.
Anyways, if you're still here after that, please be sure to check out all of our social media. Sorry, I'm watching Fleming's reaction. Please check out our social medias, linktree.joypad.com. You can find our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter there, along with our YouTube, where we will have videos such as I Am Jesus Christ, How Fish is Made, Stories Untold, which we still need to finish, and others that are...
Leaving it left untold.
Yeah, we have been for about 2 months now. That's okay. It's not like we're ever going to finish Diablo. And Megan,
Wow.
we only have shit. We've only got 24
Don't
days
say
to
it.
finish Skyrim.
Don't say it.
And please be sure to check out my screenshot
Cute.
Let's Plays as well. Currently, I have a bunch of stuff done. There's reindeer happening. All right, end it, Tom, end it.
Don't do it. You don't have to do
holidays.
anything.
Have a good time with the games you have, the games you're gonna get, and the people that you're around that you love. Stay joyful.
Bye.
Bye.